Hello everybody, my name is Restive Toasty and welcome back to Satisfactory. It has been a little while, hasn't it? I haven't been able to record a whole bunch of videos because I'm waiting for Update 8 to drop, but then I realized I could just record a video of me waiting for Update 8 to drop and preparing certain items. I left my Explorer all the way over there, but it's fine, we're going back. So a couple things have changed, not by a whole lot. As you can see, there are some arrows in the middle now. I decided that for some reason, I would put in a factory cart going around my trains. So now, if I can find him, there is a factory cart going along my train line for no other reason than I thought it would be funny. I also set up, obviously, as you can see up there on the compass, I set up a personal train that just kind of runs around the outer loop. There are several different stops. That one is close to the blue boxes. And then this one over here is around where the front is. And then there's one by the aluminum. There's one by the steel, etc. Of course, I can add in new ones over time as new factories are developed and new trains are added in. I did also redesign a couple of things. Nothing super huge, and I have a couple of things in place as well for some more redesigning later. Obviously, I haven't done anything with power yet because we still have to wait for Update 8, but when Update 8 does come out, I don't know when it's going to come out. I saw something that said September 31st, but I don't know if that's accurate. When it does come out, we can change our whole system. This is one of the biggest changes I made, which sounds hilarious. I have this little small section here for factory carts, even though I don't use factory carts, and leaving this area with the factory carts is a bad idea because the factory carts work best and almost exclusively on factory foundations. So, I mean, you get a lot of drift out here, and then obviously there's still space for the Explorer, which is currently all the way across the map. And here is our entrance underground. I have some of these little tube-looking things set up because at some point I'm gonna cover all of this over. Like I'm just gonna cover the whole thing in like a giant box, like a skybox underground, so that you're not seeing all of that and you're not seeing all that empty space out there. So these way up higher are gonna be the tubes that we enter through, and then obviously down here I'm gonna be getting rid of this power room because it looks awful, and we're not going to need all of these switches anymore, since we'll just have the smart switches, which can just do it all on their own. I don't need to make a network, they are a network, something like that. Other than that, not much is going to change, honestly, and not much has changed, except what is about to change. I'm going to go make a blueprint for another train thing. Hey, Futurist Toasty here. I forgot to mention while I was recording, the reason I'm making train tracks is so that we can expand into the area surrounding the desert. I would rather do that with one single train line since I don't think it's going to be a very heavily trafficked area, just a few different trains. So it'd probably be easier just to use one train track instead of two, because there's only one factory I really have to get trains to. It's the Advanced Aluminum Factory. There's only going to be a couple trains going there and a couple trains leaving, so I don't need a whole lot of infrastructure over there for the trains. So we're just going to make new train tracks with one train line, and hopefully that makes my life way easier. So the train line goes here, and then the path line is right here still. And this is our right-hand train. Obviously it'll have the railing on it that way, but that's like not right now. I'll handle that later, and that'll go in our I also did change my blueprint area because just to make it easier, I can put that in here. We can put down other blueprints. We can make other blueprints, clear, and make a different blueprint that's just like we have one of these but upside down. So that would be the one directly beneath it, except it can't be because it's too big. It's got to fit in that. The small one fits in that, but then the small pillars are too small. Maybe I can have just a long pillar. Yeah, that fits there, but instead of like I don't just do one, I can have two of them in a line. Or maybe I can design a different pillar entirely. I liked these ones. Let's say we have one of these in the middle, and then these on the sides. aside from the Z fighting, how does that work? It's okay, it's okay. And could I then still have the beams in here? That looks pretty okay. Let me see if it looks better this way. Okay. Kind of like that, I think. Okay, cool. So this is the top. Of course, I'll have to change and use a different pillar top thing. So that should work, right? Let's check this. Cool. That works really well, actually, and I like it quite a lot. Okay, awesome. And then obviously that extends downward, and it looks like it can actually hold it up. It's amazing. So now we're gonna go ahead and extend the train lines. I have already extended out this little bit, but I'm gonna switch it. So I'm doing the single ones at some point, kind of along this line. The left-hand one is gonna split that way, around here, I guess, right? It'll split, go that way, and the other one will go, further that way first, and then split over. So I do still have to extend this one off in this direction first. I did a different kind of intersection, and it looks way better than the other intersections, but also it was incredibly painstaking, and I don't think I'm gonna switch the other ones. This was incredibly annoying, so I don't want to do it again, even though it might be really cool. I'm not gonna do that. Because, no, quite simply. I am, however, gonna do one of these. So this is probably gonna have to be where we kind of split it off, right? I might even go back one whole thing, so this guy will split that way, right? And then this guy will split, well, they'll both turn at first and then split. How about that? Yeah. That makes the most sense, I think. Just see how this goes. I'll be right back. How about that? I'll do the experimenting and you get to see the cool part when it's done. Well, not when it's done, but when it's happened. Okay, that's good. It'll get us a little further to the right than we want, but that is okay. I think this one was already good to go straight, right? Yeah, so this one will just be, like that. Sick. And that works perfectly. Awesome. We can put in the rails this way. Yes. And we'll see about adding some of those more later. I also just realized I don't have any ramps for these ones. Should probably make those at some point, but I'll get to that when I need to, I guess. So not right now. If I end up needing a ramp, then I'll make a ramp. Okay, cool. This is going to be a very tedious back and forth process, so I guess I guess I'll come back when I'm done and we can see the end product. Of course, I'll come back in between if something really bad happens, but obviously that's not a case in which we want to see me back soon. Okay, turns out I do have to make a ramp. Whoopsies. Ran into a little area that was just a little bit too tall, and I have to make a ramp.
5 minutes later.
The worst part is I actually need to make 2 of these, because on the right hand, this is up, but then on the left hand, it's down. This is awful, and I hate it. No, I need to do something else. How do I do something else? I need to figure something else out. I really did not want to have to worry about this, because I knew it would be an absolute pain. This is a nightmare. This is a nightmare. That's not where that's supposed to be. What am I doing? Hate this thing. It sucks. This is literally exactly the same as it was before. Somehow, I don't know how I managed that. Why? Good enough? Kinda? Yeah. Ramped, indeed. So, continue the stupid railway. Okay, so, I have made it to the advanced aluminum, which is where we were going. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in some train stations. That's what they are. Okay, so there's gonna be a few different ones. I believe there are 4 different parts that are gonna be coming out of here, right? So I think we're gonna have 2 trains of 2, possibly. We also need to put down some with only 1 freight car so that we can get the different aluminum stuff. Let's just say I think we need 1 for, or we need 2 for those, and then 2 for the aluminum coming in, which shouldn't be too hard, right? So let's do, since they're right here, let's do the things going out first. So 2 freight platforms. We need motors. I'll be right back. Alright, little bit of motors later. We do now have all of our stations in. We have 2 of them for the outputs, and then 2 of them over here for the inputs. This one's going to be the sheets, and this one's going to be the casings. We have our train stations set up, and the only thing left to do is get this track all the way back to over here somewhere where we split off, I think right there. I think what I want to do is go all the way around this edge, because this one goes currently like across this edge here where these ridges are on the right. So I want to have it go all the way around here, like kind of following this river a little bit. So right now, what it's going to do, I'm not going to have it go all the way out here, because that would just be a pain. But I'm going to bring it kind of this way across here, kind of in line with this, and then around maybe through here, maybe not, possibly turn before then. I don't know exactly. I don't want it to go over the river specifically. I want it to go like beside the river, because over the river would be a pain. And I don't know how exactly I want to do this. I could have it go all the way around here and then through this little nightmare corridor, because this is where my nitrogen is, and I think it would be easier if I had a train going on a line here that carried it as well, but I'm honestly not sure if I want to do that, so I'll have to see, I guess. And I don't want to do a truck, because then I have to do a packaging here, and then an unpackaging here, another one, and I've already got trucks doing that, and it's already going to be annoying, and I haven't even done it yet. So yeah, I think I'm going to have it go this way and this way, even though that is terribly inefficient, and then go this way and down here. Partially also just so I have the train set up in this area too, in case I need that, because, you know, I might need that. And if it's too slow, then I can just put in another train. Not a big deal, because after we do the aluminum, after we finish the aluminum, we're going to start working on nuclear power, so it'll be fine. Everything is a-okay, alright? Oh yeah, quick thing I somehow forgot to mention. I've actually finished the main railway. Hey guy. So, all of the pillars are at the correct height now, and they all have their feet, and all the rails are on there too. The beams, the beam rails on the sides, that white beam right there. That's all finished now, which is pretty sick. It's even finished on the very far end where I have that stretch that goes over whatever the marshes are, the swamp or something. I don't know what it is, actually. I don't know what it's called. And all of the pillars over there are, indeed, finished. All the way down to the ground. So there's actually no more work that I have to do on the train tracks, except for the stuff that I'm doing now, obviously. Except for the new developments. Everything else is completely done. The trains, I mean. And now that I'm taking the Explorer back to where it's supposed to be, I can actually show you what it looks like in the new garage. Ugh, almost. Just a little too far. But as you can see, got a nice fit. And then a little crosswalk, and then a little path, and then we go down the stairs. Talking aside, I gotta get back to my railways. Alright, there you go. I have connected up the rails all the way over there, all the way around, and down here. I guess now the only thing would be to actually put in the trains, and then put down the legs. What are they called? The legs. I should put down the rails first, because then I don't have to worry about using the jetpack. I can switch to the hoverpack. Which is easier to use. I'll put in the rails real quick, and then we can start looking at some I don't know, actually. I'll put the rails in real quick. Now I have to go around and find these little sections, the turns, and I need to put all of these guys in like that. Yeah, nice. And then when I get all the corners, the edges, the turns, the curves done, of course, while I'm doing the curves, I will also go fix any issues that arise at the very few ramps, like for instance, this little gap here. I'll get back to you once I've finished all the finishing touches and we'll see how everything kind of lines up, how everything goes. I have now finished all the curves and ramps, and now we just gotta move on to the pillars, the supports and such and whatnot. Nothing too difficult. Okay, so that is all the pillars, and I also went ahead and just put in the rails and the beams on the sides as well, since I needed to do it eventually. I also, this time, I didn't do this on the main track system, but on this one, I did put in the rails on the curves, because some of them look better than this, and also the beams are here in the middle on this thing, so I don't really have to worry about this looking terrible as much. So, that's pretty neat, I think. Got all the beams in place everywhere, got all the rails in place everywhere, got all the pillars in place everywhere, and I have got to say, I really like the way it looks, even though it looks kind of weird when you're moving this far away. Or just standing this far away, it's kind of flickering a little bit, but that's fine. I really like it, and I think it looks super cool. Pretty neat. So what else do we need to do? I do know we need to set up the trucks going from over there where the oil is to out here, and we still need to set up the train station over there with the nitrogen stuff. I think I'm gonna do the trucks first. Just because most of that is already set up, I just have to move around some fuel. Okay, wonderful. Let's go. So that will be fuel connected whenever we get fuel. And then power connection has to go all the way across there, so I'll handle that later. But I guess now we should start... Well, for one, I should probably go get some extra fuel just to put in here. And then we should start looking at the trucks, like getting the trucks... driving the trucks around and such and whatnot. By the way, I am completely aware that most things I say and do are complete nonsense. Don't worry about it. It's completely fine. We're gonna use the trucks, because I think they're better than the tractors. Although I don't know how they will fare going across the desert, now that I think about it. So I might need to put in some kind of infrastructure for the trucks. Why can I rock you around like that? That is ridiculous. I can jump under this guy and flip him over. What the heck? Has to be the sides. Specifically between the wheels. Oh, ow! This is fine. Okay, so, to get off. Oh, these guys turn real tight, I forgot. Yeah, this guy can go up here. I've already wasted some fuel, but that's fine. Stop! 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 Okay, so, I need to go to the place. Yeah. Let me turn this guy around. That's not good. Oh, okay. It's fine. Everything is fine. Now, I have truly no idea where I'm going, so this may be somewhat difficult to do, because I don't know where I'm supposed to turn. I do believe I should turn before there, and then go here, maybe. Yeah, okay. Now, the question, do I follow the train, or do I just, like, drive across the area? I should probably follow the train. Probably. I don't know what I'm gonna do, honestly. Oh, I meant to turn earlier than that, but the autosave got in the way. Ah, rock! Shoot. Avoid that rock at all costs, please. There's a path here. I should take it. I'm taking it. This path is now going the wrong way. It's turning me around. It is turning me around. This is not the right direction. How do I recover from this? Let's go this way. This is not gonna work. This is not a good idea. It is, in fact, a very bad idea, and I don't know where I am anymore, and I should just give up. Okay, I'll just go ahead and finish all the troubleshooting, and I'll be back whenever I'm finished with the new truck paths. See you later, I guess. Took a little bit, but I do now have both of the paths. This one is for the packagers, packages, and this one is for the filled packages with the oil in them. So these make the packaged oil, and that goes in here to this one, and then they get unpackaged over there, and this truck, this one, takes the packages back here, right? Yeah, it's pretty cool. So that's done. What else is there? I guess I have to do this one too, right? This train over here. Let's get that going. Okay, so what I can do is something like that, and then train station and the fluid platform. I can figure out a way to curve this. Yeah, so this is mildly terrible, but we're gonna ignore that. So now I guess we just have to connect the, do I have any, out of curiosity? I do not have any copper sheets, which means I can't do pipes. Although there is still the issue of the whatever thing, like the fracking whatever. You have to have power in the central, the pressurizer, I think, which currently we don't have. But I guess I can connect with I can connect that temporarily via the train station, just to get the thing down, you know? And there you go. Just had to get some temporary power off of this guy, right? Duh! Jesus Christ. And I make the assumption that this is way higher than where the train is, so I don't have to worry about the pumps or anything, although I probably should check that at some point. Yeah, so this should be backing up on the nitrogen gas. You can barely tell it's in there. Although I don't know if it's gonna be enough to make it all the way up. It looks like it is. No, it's making it in there pretty easily. That's neat, and it works. Of course, I'll change it eventually, and I'll just have the power coming from over there. That's gonna be a little bit of a pain to set up, but it's fine. And now we can do the block signals. That's what it's called. Block signals. I keep forgetting that they are called block signals, right? And we can do that. And I can go over here, and we can do that, and continue and such. It's train time for real, for real. Yeah, I'll just do this one real quick. I'll be right back. So that's done. Got all those going, and I also put in the oil thing right here for the nitrogen. I don't know why I said oil. It's not oil. It's aluminum. I guess the only thing left to do with this factory in particular is to connect up all the power stuff, which we can't really do yet because we need the fancy switches, and then we need to connect all the external, like the miners, and we need to connect all that stuff that's over there. We need to connect this stuff in, but that's boring, so I'm not gonna do that right now. Let's see, is there anything else I need to do before this factory can go online? Or before Update 8 drops, really, more accurately. Let's see. Okay, so the factory is nearly finished. Just some more boring stuff I gotta do. I might set up rails for... because when I'm done with this, the next thing I'm gonna move on to is nuclear power. But I don't know if I want to set up the rails for that now, or if I want to wait until after. I'm probably going to wait. So I guess that's everything for this episode then. I've pretty much done all the preparations that I can for Update 8, except, you know, getting rid of all of the power, which I can't really do yet. I guess that'll be all for today, and I'll catch you in the next episode of Satisfactory, whenever that happens. Whenever Update 8 drops fully for early access Satisfactory. Alright, hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.